So, welcome back, everybody, to this edition of the Success Partner Podcast with Daya Naef. So, today I have with me Mirielle Enlow, who is a yacht and charter broker, a community leader, a philanthropist, and a master networker. And I can totally attest to that. We are in several groups together, and she has always been first and foremost to introduce me to new people. But it's a very exciting career that she has, and I'm so excited that she's going to be on the show today. So, Morel, just go ahead and take it away. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thanks for having me. I come from a background in real estate and mortgages for 25 plus years. And I was actually the CEO of a real estate company here in Miami Beach, which is where I'm located. During COVID, when I was working at home with my husband, who's been a yacht broker for 20 years, and realized that yacht brokerage is literally the exact same thing as a real estate agent. It's just that our real estate floats. That's really the only difference. If you were looking to buy a house, you would not get in your car and drive down to the store and find a house store, and the same thing with yachts. You don't get in your car and go down to find the yacht store. You hire an agent, you give them your criteria, you let them know what you're looking for, and then they go out and find ones for you to come and look at. And once you've viewed the right one, hopefully put in an offer and get you on your way to buying your vessel.
Oh, that's amazing and exciting. Share with us a client success story.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. But well, I'll share this with you. So, because it is the most recent one we had, and it kind of speaks to the fact that we are global. A lot of people, when I meet them through networking, they think, oh, well, you're in South Florida, I'm in California, or I'm in Annapolis or Newport, or maybe you're in Europe or even Asia. You can't help me because you're in South Florida. That really has nothing to do with it. Again, our real estate floats, so it moves around the world. So it doesn't matter where the vessel is, where the buyer is, or where the seller is. So a couple weeks ago, we had a closing where the buyer was a Swiss buyer, but with a Norwegian passport, buying a vessel in France. So the seller was also in France. He's repositioning the boat to the Bahamas, and my husband and I, as the yacht broker team that brokered the deal, are in South Florida. So you have like 5 different countries involved. Every country has different types of registration and document requirements, things that have to be translated, rules and laws that have to be known by different countries. So when you work with a yacht broker team that has all that knowledge and that support team, which is our closing department, and they are amazing, we can take a transaction like that and make it seamless for both the buyer and the seller.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. And you also told me one time about you had a client that bought 4 boats with you. They've been a long time relationship client, but
Yes.
never saw the boats or met you. How did that work out?
That is true. Actually, we had a small listing at the time for a special friend, and it was called a Monterey. And it was about a $275,000 vessel. Actually, here's a picture of it right now. And somebody just called up off the internet and said, hey, I'd like to see this boat. And they were in Chicago. But the more we talk to him, because before we even waste our time or waste the client's time, let's talk about the boat. Let's talk about what you want to do with it. Again, a lot of yacht brokers don't do that. They get so excited because somebody just wants to come see their listing. And so they're like, okay, what time you want to come? But let's talk about it first. Let's see if it really is the right vessel for you. I don't want you to get in a plane or even just drive down the road to come see a boat that's not the right boat for you. So the more we talked to him, we realized it was a little out of his price range. We knew our seller wasn't going to come down to where he needed it to be. And we just had a great conversation. It turns out, again, he was living in Chicago, but from Boston. And he wanted to start a boat club in Boston that wasn't your typical boat club that's just like a little center console. He wanted it to be where it had cabins, where you can bring your family and go out overnight or maybe for a weekend, a little higher up than the traditional just go out and run around boat. So we took that information and his criteria, we scoured the internet and the country, and we found 4 different vessels. One was actually here in South Florida, one was in Northern Florida, one was in Detroit, and one was in Connecticut. We went and viewed the boats for him. He did not come and see the boats. Once we, did some walkthroughs with him on video and explained, that we thought that these were good vessels to meet what he wanted to do. He put in an offer, put in his deposit for escrow, And then we went and did the surveys and sea trials. So again, your audience might be used to buying homes and you do an appraisal and an inspection. Well, that's kind of what a survey and a sea trial is on a boat. We did that for him. Usually a buyer will come to that too. They want to get on the boat. They want to test drive it. They want to make sure the hull looks great and all the electronics are working and all these kind of things. But again, he trusted us to do this for him. And we closed on all 4 boats all across the country and then had them shipped to Boston. And he now has his own boat club at the Charlestown Marina in Boston.
Oh, wonderful. I'm going to check that out next time I'm up in Boston. I can say, I knew you win.
There you go. Yeah, they're great boats. They're both, I think the 4 of them, one's 30, a couple of them are 34s, a couple are 36 feet. They have 2 cabins in them each. So great for a small family or maybe a pair of couples. And, he's got a great pad out on front and a great little area back here to hang out. And, you can go from Boston to Provincetown or just, wherever you want to go and have a great weekend on your vessel.
That's wonderful. So who's a good referral source for you? Who are people that regularly send you business?
So usually realtors are probably the first in line because especially if somebody's relocating to a new area, they're going to say to the client, to their agent, I'm looking for a house that has dock space behind it, or I want to be close to a marina, those kind of things. So I teach realtors to listen for those cues, ask more questions, and then if they find out the person is in fact a boat owner, I'm the great referral, especially when they don't know anybody else in that area yet, they just want somebody to help guide them. Because we don't just do transactions. Transactions are how we get paid, of course, but we help our clients with whatever your needs are. Do you need, I don't know, and a new electronics person, somebody to help you with your cushions, maybe with mechanical work. You maybe have vibration in the boat and you don't know where that's coming from. We have marine industry professionals in our database, people that we trust, that are reliable, that are going to give you a price and quote that they're going to stick with and not, come back with something ridiculous later. So, but yeah, generally realtors are a good source for us
Good
in the
source.
beginning.
In the beginning, awesome. And
Well,
as you
yeah,
know,
because there's also wealth advisors. If a
Mhm.
good wealth advisor should know what you want to do with the rest of your life. Someday we want to sell our business and we want to travel around the world on a yacht or sail around the world on a sailboat. If a wealth advisor knows that's what their client's looking to do as they go forward, that would be a good referral for us. CPAs are really good because they're looking at their clients' P&Ls. They know what their assets are. And a good conversation for an accountant to have with a yacht owner, a boat owner, someone who's already a boat owner is, you have this beautiful vessel. Have you thought about putting it into charter, getting some revenue to come in on it, especially with the skyrocketing costs of marinas, dockage, insurance, those kind of things, crew is a lot more expensive than it used to be. And if you can offset some of that cost by putting your boat into charter, even if it's only you do maybe 1 charter a month, that revenue that can come in can be very, very helpful. And a lot of times accountants don't even think to have those conversations with their clients. So that's me. And again, coming in being learn how to listen for those cues and, see if
that's
we can help
great.
them.
So would you also be a person, say I was one of those people who wanted to charter either a private vessel or something, like, how does that work?
Yeah. So when I was talking about the accountants, I was saying people that own the boat, putting their boat into charter, that is
Mhm.
something we can help them with, put it into a charter program where they get calls, we market it for them. And that same person could be you. Maybe you wanted to charter their boat. There's over 17,000 vessels available worldwide to charter. So I can definitely help people with that. It's really finding out, again, what kind of boating do you want to do? Maybe you want to do sailing. Maybe you want to be on a mega yacht, maybe you want to do a fishing type charter. What is it you want to do? Where do you want to go? What's your budget? Is this a family vacation? Is this a bunch of friends getting together for maybe a special occasion, a birthday or an anniversary? We really want to narrow down and find the perfect vacation for that person, because I have to tell you, if you've been to a beautiful resort before, that's awesome. But there is nothing more spectacular than spending a week on your own private vessel and having the captain and the crew take care of everything you need. amazing dining experiences on board your vessel, which don't cost an arm and a leg like they do at a resort, because they're provisioning for you at the grocery store. You have a five-star chef on board cooking for you, but you don't have to pay those exorbitant prices. It's already included in your charter. So and then just so many great things to do. A good crew will also, as you go island to island hopping or wherever you're going, they're going to know local things, that I don't even know because they're there every day doing charters in these areas. Oh, we're going to go to this island today because there's this really cool cove. We're going to pull up into it. And as we get you onto the island, there's a cave to go exploring in, something like that. Or maybe there's this really cool restaurant that's on the backside of the island that only the locals know about, but we're going to take you there today. I mean, just really cool experiences that you can't have on land.
Oh, that totally warms my little travel bug heart. Oh, wow. And speaking of travel, tell us about this great adventure you're getting ready to go on.
So yeah, my husband and I have decided that we want to spend the next year traveling. Both of his daughters are at a point where we can leave for a little bit. It doesn't look like any one of them are having babies right away. Both of our parents are not ailing or anything, so they're in good health. We don't have any pets. So as we're getting older, it might be a good time to do that, once in a lifetime year-long travel. So we're going to go to Southeast Asia, probably even go to all of Asia, it looks like now. We're going to explore, we're going to do travel, we're going to talk about food, we're going to talk about visas and how to get around, not like on a backpacker's budget, but certainly not staying at the Ritz-Carlton every day either. People our age who want to explore, still have the health that they can do that, but again, not breaking the bank. And while we're there, we're going to go to all kinds of boat shows over in Asia. So we'll still be talking about boats and going to see boats and building up our marine industry database of people that we know. And then there's a lot of yachts that are actually built in Asia, some beautiful boats like Choi Lee, Horizon, Ocean Alexander, they're built in Taiwan. So we hope to go to some of those shipyards and actually videotape and show what it's like to build a yacht from the bottom up.
That's so exciting. So I'll definitely be I'll be following you myself and putting your YouTube connections
Yes,
in
our
the show
YouTube
notes.
channel, we're gonna be getting that, probably gonna be announcing it this week. I mean, I've announced it to some people, but we're actually creating our first little like teaser video this week, and we're putting it out to hopefully get to that 1,000 subscribers we need before we go.
Ah, that's going to be so exciting. Oh, wow. Also, before we go, tell me a little bit about your giving circle.
Oh, so I'm a co-founder of a group called 100 Plus Women Who Care here in Miami Beach. There's actually over 700 chapters across the country. It started in Michigan. But our little group here, we are actually at just over 140 members. And what you do is you meet quarterly, and different people nominate charities. And these have to be like hyper local, grassroots charities that don't have any big donations, don't have big budgets, but are doing great, great things in our community. And right now, I think we have about 15 charities that are nominated. So the names of each charity goes into a hat, and each meeting we pull out three just randomly. And those three get 5 minutes to stand up and pitch to our members. And at the end of the three pitches, each member gets a voting card and they vote on who they like the best. Each member donates $100 at each meeting. So whoever gets the most votes walks away with the money. So with 140 members, we're at $14,000 per meeting. And again, with these small grassroots organizations, $14,000 goes a
Makes
long,
a big
long
difference.
way. Plus, we have another foundation that if that charity also meets their criteria, they'll match us up to $5,000. So they can get $19,000, and we're growing and growing, growing. Hopefully by our next meeting, we'll be at 150 members. So then we'll have $15,000 to give. So the idea is just to keep growing. And it's really cool because you get to hear about what all these charities are doing that most of the time you've never even heard of. So we just give them this great platform to have a lot of philanthropically minded women learn about their organization. So even if they don't win the money, it's great exposure for them.
Absolutely wonderful. Well, I just want to thank you again for coming on the show today. And this is a Success Partner podcast. This is Mirielle Enlow. I will have her contact information in the chat. And I want to apologize a little bit for the background noise. I am in downtown Baltimore this week, hosting some meetings, and my little rental apartment is like right here in the middle of things, not like the beautiful oceanic background that Murielle has. So just a little bit of a juxtaposition there, but please stay tuned for the next episodes of the Success Partner podcast. Oh God, that's just breathtaking. So
Had to leave with
yes,
that, right?
I love it. I love it. I want to be there right now. So
Beautiful
thank you.
Bahamian water.
I love that blue. So wonderful. Well, thank you everybody again. Stay tuned for the next episode, and thank you again, Morel.
Thanks for having me.